A word for our listeners. Masks of Nyarlathotep is set in the 1920s. We will be using terms and sayings from those times, including some that could be considered offensive. It is not our intention to offend. We merely wish to offer as accurate a view of the time period as possible. Welcome to the Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us each week as our investigators follow a path of clues and attempt to save the world from an ancient evil. Starring John Quiett, Jestin Kimmet, Shirley Niedzwiecki, George Chimples, Jason Hall, and Scott Troiano, with Matt Quiett running the table as keeper. Eldritch evils and crazed cultists await you just beyond this music.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Nerds Domain presents Masks of Nyarlathotep. I'm here with Shirley.
Hello.
Jason. Hello. Shirley.
Hello.
Scott.
Hi there.
Shirley.
How you doing?
George.
Hello.
Shirley.
Hi.
Johnny.
Hello.
Shirley.
Hello.
And Justin.
Hi.
And Shirley.
Hello.
And I'm Matt. Last time we were in Egypt going to buy some guns. Real quick before we get back into buying some guns, bang bang, let's talk about what your guys' leads are here in Egypt. This is why we're doing it, because you're all looking at me like you don't know what's going on. You as a player could do this.
I thought someone else had leads.
It's the stuff in the middle of the table that we need to
I,
look
as a
at.
player, can't tell them anything because I'm dead, and that would be metagaming.
Oh, God.
Whereas I do remember what we're supposed to be doing here. I just did. Oh, yeah.
So, if I remember correctly, you have...
New Foundation,
Yeah.
excavation, murders.
We're investigating what
The
we know.
Carlisles may
that
not
we
have
know
been
were
murdered.
falsified.
We're investigating the Carlisle Expedition. We know that they survived.
I just knock on the doors and just be like, have you seen any cults around? Any cults lately?
Yeah.
In Egypt.
Where were the cults, guys?
Maybe you should just walk around strangling cats.
I'm gonna take the book, The Monolith of the People, open it up to the most absurd and insane page that I can find that doesn't twig me out, and I'm gonna go the opposite direction from Courtney, and which I thought that was funny. You got a problem with that name? And then I'm gonna knock on doors in the opposite direction, and the first person that doesn't go, "Oh my mind!" And I'm gonna go. The first person that goes, "Oh, what do you need?" Shoot him in the head, or follow him to their little cult meeting.
You can always use the mask.
So we're very quick. Dropping on people?
Oh God!
Yeah, drop it.
Excuse me, I'd like to talk about how we're meant to do.
Or no, we can set up a traveling carnival and like charge people and be like, come into our tent, we have such wonders to show you. Slap the mask on it, take their wallet, they come too, we just set up shop somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the perfect crime.
Charge $1 each or a pound each, and be like, "Come see the wonders of the deep,
All right.
dark unknown."
So what you have is a letter. You're cruel. From Faraz Najir to Carlisle, Roger Carlisle. Raj. Yes, Raj. Offering to sell some gear or some stuff to the Carlisle Expedition. It mentions that where he is located on the Street of Jackals in the Old Quarter. And then you could also look up the former agent of the Carlisle Expedition that probably may still be alive, may or may not. You can get his information pretty easily, I'm sure.
Wasn't there also a lead that we had from the guy in the bookstore in Harlem that we burned down and killed the thing in the pit? Didn't he?
I have no idea what you're talking about. That was
The importer-exporter?
That was
Didn't he
further-
import
that
stuff
was,
from
Yeah, but
No, he imported stuff from Mombasa.
Oh, Mombasa, that's right. Sorry.
further south.
Yeah, in Kenya. So
Oh, in Kenya. That's
yeah,
in Kenya.
Mombasa
Okay.
and Kenya. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So those two would be your big ones. You also might track down exactly where the Carlisle Expedition went, which may need the agent that they had, and so those are really your big three avenues for going on this. You know that you're looking for some sort of place in the sand, and that would be a good place to start.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of that.
I'm supposed
I can
to
take you right to
contact
some
Nolan's
sand.
there.
So, where would you guys are going to buy some guns, so you can pick up whatever you want down. Have it, it's fine. Also ammo if you use it.
Really?
Yeah.
Anything?
Yeah, sure, you can go ahead and ask. Because we haven't picked up by now, like guns, not necessarily the most effective thing against stuff you have to, that's bad.
I'm just saying, if I had to choose between a Magnum and a rocket launcher,
Well, rocket launchers probably don't exist in World War One.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Not handheld rocket.
What about a flamethrower?
If
Yeah,
you really,
flamethrowers exist.
if you really want a flamethrower,
No.
But can I get a box of cricket balls?
what are cricket balls?
Hand grenades from World War One.
If you really want to try and do that, you will not be able to get them at the place you're going to. You'd have to get them
Well,
from
I,
someone.
what you said, whatever you're
Less
looking
reputable.
for, we have. I was like,
I
oh,
might know of a place.
oh, I just didn't know if this guy would have it.
Can I just point out from a sheer min-maxer perspective that flamethrowers and hand grenades, like,
They're not that great.
you do as much damage with a shotgun from point blank range.
Also, hand grenades go off of a throw skill. What's your throw?
I threw a bolo all day long, baby.
You have actually a bolo skill. Do you
I
have
know,
a
I
throw
do.
skill?
Well, the thing about hand grenades and flamethrowers, they vary in damage.
Screw that. Never mind.
But flamethrower base chance, by the way, is also 5%,
Oh, sure.
and it does 2d6.
That's my track.
Kind of garbage.
It's tracking stuff. Yeah,
Oh.
it's all good.
Yeah,
So-
I'm written down right there next to it.
What would you guys? So you're picking up the shotguns.
I'm gonna get one full-size normal 12-gauge shotgun with 2 boxes of ammo, 1 buck, 1
Are
sword.
you doing
Go
pump
with the weapon.
or what?
Yeah. You can write this down. I'm gonna hand it to you.
What do you get me?
A 12-gauge shotgun.
You want to go with the semi-auto?
Yeah.
That's better. Never mind. I'm going to buy you a real gun.
I'm gonna take your advice. That's what you're here for.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you want the semi-auto.
Semi-auto is not 1620s.
Or no, what is the...
Pump is.
You want the Webley...
Are you talking about shotguns or pistols?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want the Winchester...
You want the Winchester 10A. If you wanted a double barrel.
M1887 self-loading.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the 2 double barrel solid shotgun.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a harness one.
I'm gonna buy you a real gun because a 9mm
People don't
just...
typically carry 2 shotguns.
No, it's just like a pistol harness.
Got me
basically.
fine so far, but I'll
That's all
take
a
whatever
shotgun
you're willing to give me.
Yeah, but it's not designed to fit a pistol harness.
Well, no, I'm gonna get the actual like holsters custom made, but the harness is just a harness.
You know how to use a shotgun?
Well enough.
Everybody does, technically.
You point at things and you
Yeah,
pull the trigger.
shotguns are the ones you give people who can't aim.
Yes.
Johnny, are you picking anything up? Here, I'll replace your old gun.
I'm going to replace my old guns.
Gonna file off the numbers on your drop piece.
Yes.
Mr. Weld, are you
I don't
picking
know
up
if they
anything?
care here so much.
I'm just buying ammo.
Anytime you want to send that text to me, Shirley, so I can answer your questions. So, you guys are all picking up something, right?
Make sure I'm well stocked in polos.
They don't sell bolos at gun shops.
I thought they might.
You need to go to the bathroom.
Sounds good.
Oh, not from a gun shop. Yeah, caravan outfitter, sure.
Yeah, we might want to get some local clothing.
Compasses and things like that. Some
Survival gear.
yeah. Okay.
Canteens,
You could all
compasses.
Proper safari gear?
Proper safari gear.
Yeah.
I have purpose safari.
I figure there's probably a store around here somewhere that caters to the British.
Pith helmets for all.
Yeah, like there's gotta be one.
So, you guys have picked up everything you need.
Yeah, we're doing the PBS outing.
The PBS.
So, would you like to come by my place and look at my artifacts?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you like to come put it off to my etchings?
I have some good percussive. I mean, random paintings.
Is that where you all are heading? Or is it
Uh,
just Mr. Weld headed there by himself?
These streets are dangerous. We should probably
no,
stick
I'm
together.
going to go back to the hotel.
I don't know if that's wise, Al. You're not. You don't seem the rough and tumble type.
You might be surprised.
Ha ha ha. And Gary, that's my response. Ha ha ha.
Technically, I was just paid to escort these two.
Wait, just us two?
Well, your troop, but
But what?
Mr.
well,
Byrne,
I'm
would you like
mostly
to
interested in
go
you
down
making
there?
it to my.
Me,
I have a
me
lot of.
making it to your room.
You have a lot of money. I want to save artifacts.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Carry on.
So again, are you all going to look at these artifacts?
No,
Professor
I'm gonna go
Wentworth
back to my
clearly
room.
wants to go back to the hotel, so I'll be with him.
Okay, so Mr. Cooper, Mr. Weld, and Captain Wilkerson are all going to look at these artifacts?
Yeah, I'm gonna peel off Professor and let him know that if there's other, and before we leave the gun shop, if there's other implements that he would like to buy, that I have another room under a different name where he can store things if you were
Set a room or a different room altogether.
a different room at the hotel.
No, like the same one for everybody else or a different one altogether.
Same one. It's
So
gonna
the
be
one
our
you
store.
weren't going to tell them about?
Yeah.
That you
No,
just
I'm gonna
told
bring
them about?
everybody in. Yes. I'm gonna bring them in staggered shifts. Eventually, everyone is going to know about the room except for Cooper.
That would be now.
Yeah.
Right.
everyone knows.
Right. Thank
Okay.
you. We're there.
So, Captain Wilkerson, you're going with Mr. Weld and Mr. Cooper to go look at artifacts.
Who's wandering back to the hotel by themselves?
Nobody. Mr. Byrne, Professor Wilkerson, no, Professor Wentworth, and Miss McCrea are wandering back to the hotel.
Oh, okay. Well, then
Splitting
we'll
the
go.
party.
Eva, you sure you don't want to check the place out?
That's quite alright. I need to get back to my room and get things settled.
I'm gonna send a runner like,
Okay.
to an outfitters to send somebody to take my measurement to whatever the hotel.
You were going to say something, George?
Oh.
Okay. So you guys all
You
head.
did look poised.
You guys all head in your different directions. Mr. Cooper, why don't you describe your abode?
It's got a.
Let's keep this as minimal creepy as possible.
What? It's Jesse.
Exactly. What could possibly go wrong? The front door opens into a standard-sized living area. There's a table. There's a couch. There seems to be a room leading off to the back, but there's very little decorations on the wall.
Does it look lived in, or this
Oh,
is
it's
just
lived
a,
in. It's
you
just-
pass
there's a-
through from time to time to dump the loot?
There's a couple of books on the table.
Anything noteworthy, just
It seems to be about it's about things like artifacts and things like that.
Okay, so like-
Standard fare.
things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll archaeology if you would.
Nope.
That doesn't seem to be anything of super great value. I mean, there's clear value in most artifacts that come from tombs, but nothing here stands out to you.
Occult, please.
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to pull
sure.
things out of the back room.
You don't have anything.
Occult passes.
I keep nothing in the main room. No,
No mythos.
probably not.
Some of them probably are cult related as far as like burial rituals and that kind of stuff, but
I look very quickly disinterested and I say, are there any artifacts that you would not deal with? Perhaps they're of a strange or disturbing nature. Did you know of anyone who would deal in such items? Anyone rumored to be dealing with such things?
Would I know of somebody I would sell to if I found something I wasn't comfortable with?
yeah. There is a curios shop on the street of Jackals. A man by the name of Jeer is there, and he occasionally buys those sorts of things from you.
Is that the guy?
There's a man named Najir who owns a shop up the way.
Oh, on the street of Jackals. Is it the same man?
Yes.
Good. Have you ever heard of something called the Brotherhood of the Dark Pharaoh?
Yeah, everybody's kind of heard about
Brotherhood
it,
of the Black Pharaoh?
but it's not believed to be.
Yeah.
Ever run into anybody who claims to be associated with them? Or
It's your basic fairy tale. I don't think it's. No, I don't think anybody's associated with it anymore.
perhaps you might need to call upon this. These are wonderful wares, and I'll tell some of my relatives that they should check into you for some new stock. But
This one specifically, this was one of my nicer pieces.
what is it?
It's a bust of an Egyptian pharaoh. Something they probably didn't even do.
Completely fake.
My art tastes run more towards objects from further east than here, but I'll put a word in with my friends back home. But I think that we might need to call upon Mr.
I have some
Najir,
cockpit jars.
perhaps when I'm on the way back.
Okay.
So the captain's with me. Yeah, I just kind of like make a gesture like there's nothing creepy here, nothing.
Yeah, I kind of scan around the room, sort of duck my head into the back room, just sort of do a, hey, I have no sanity left to begin with. Does any of this bother
If
me?
he starts to get close to the back door, I'm going to kind of block him a little bit.
Yeah, I'll duck under that arm. Let's melee that if you really want to. I'll just put a shoulder in.
There's no need to go in there. There's
Anything
Are you going to physically stop him?
If he pushes me out of the way, I won't. He looks stronger than me.
Okay.
It's some crafting tools.
Give me
stencils?
Chisels.
Just,
Hammers.
give me a
You might want
give me a knowledge.
I'm not that bad of a...
Can I do knowledge as well?
You're not quite in the back room unless you're following him, are you?
Oh yeah, I'm following.
Oh yeah.
That's a win.
George, you don't need to roll. You actually have archaeology. Yeah, this would
I don't
be.
actually.
You don't. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, then, did you make your
My
knowledge?
knowledge? Yeah.
Okay.
Easily.
This would be what you would like create things with, like fake pottery or those kinds of
Tea
forgeries.
Oh, so such as you make busts with and things.
Yeah.
or say knocking jars.
You do dig.
Does anything make me go,
Nope.
nope?
I'll look at it and be like, well, you do go digging occasionally, yes?
Everybody has hobbies. It's just a hobby. I don't sell this stuff.
That's unimportant.
Yes,
pieces-
yes. I dig. I find things.
The pieces that
I'm on the up and up.
Weld was referring to, of a more nauseating persuasion.
Yeah, like I said, it's Mr. What was his name again?
Najir.
Najir.
Nothing seems overly ripe other than perhaps the existing collection.
Should we go talk with him? He kind of gives me the
We
creeps,
should
so-
perhaps bring everyone over to
Are you expecting trouble?
that. Absolutely, yes.
Oh yes, quite.
Most definitely.
Twice.
Bring your guns.
I will.
Aren't you glad what my father called you to help us chaperone?
Oh, you will be earning it on this one.
Quite right. Pip pip and cheerio.
I thought this was a lot of money. I'll also get my 45.
Okay. So you guys are heading back then?
Yep.
Okay. So you all arrive back. It's probably been a long day.
Yeah.
Had to did a late supper and then to your respective rooms.
Yeah, I assume we're all on the same floor, like right next to each other. So.
Yes, except for that room that Mr. Cooper doesn't know about. It's on a separate floor.
I'll check in on the professor.
He's professing.
How's it feeling? I tap my chest.
Sore but better. How do I feel
It's sore, but better. It doesn't ache the same way. It still aches, but when you move, it doesn't ache the same way. It feels cleaner almost.
Taking my medication.
Good. I pass him a bottle of water.
What laudanum do you have?
Plenty. No, yeah, he's brought it up before. That carries like a stash with him.
Anybody else doing anything before
For
we
my meditation.
head to the sleeping?
So what?
Sleeping.
I'm gonna lock my window.
You meant the reaping. The reaping.
I'm gonna lock my window, assuming I have one. Barricade the door.
You don't want to lock that one. You don't want to shut that window.
It'd be very hot.
It would be unbearably hot.
Even
Alright,
at
I'll
night
leave it
in the desert.
cracked.
Even at night.
I thought it got like freezing cold at night.
It can, but if there's no air moving, the hot air kind of just sits.
Suddenly the room will be 96 degrees because you're 98 degrees, and that's not pleasant. Yeah. And it'll smell like armpit.
And butt pit after a while.
Nothing but.
Did you say butt pit?
Yes.
He did!
Okay.
Alright,
You
well,
will say out of it.
I just want to make sure nobody can, like, crawl in my room.
No, I mean, if they really wanted to get in, I'm sure the doors aren't that sturdy. It's not like it's a good
Yeah,
English
yeah, but the
hotel.
door will at least give me warning.
That's true.
Break a bottle and sprinkle the glass on the
That's a good
window
point.
sill.
Yes.
It's not a bad idea. So the night goes by uneventfully, except for the 14 guys that sneak into Mr. Professor Wentworth's room.
You hear lots of gunshots.
They don't do anything. They just come in and look at you.
No, they don't hear gunshots. They took Mr. Weld's
Sleeping course. Finite
They
training
dart
in
me
the
with
realms of
a drop of
Every
Weld
time you
blood.
pass out a bottle of laudanum, the mystery starts to clear. As to how you
Somnambulant.
slept through.
ninja skills.
What are you going to say?
How late is it?
It's probably 8 or 9, but again, it's
Yeah.
tiring for the evening. You could stay at the hotel as well.
I'll probably stay
Your expenses are being paid for.
Yeah.
You're like,
So,
yeah.
Mr. Weld, do you chug a bottle of laudanum and then turn in for the night?
How bad have my drinks been?
God.
How much sanity have you lost since England?
Not that many, because I didn't go through that combat swing. Maybe 2.
So they've been bad, but not terrible.
I'll have a nip.
A nip, a 5-count nip.
Just a little bit take the edge off.
A 5-ounce.
So the night does go by just fine. What do you guys do the next morning? You meet for breakfast.
I'll suggest that we, unless anyone has any other suggestions, we visit this Mr. Najir on the Street of the Jackal.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm all over here all like shotgun and so on.
You guys look like you're getting ready to kill in my contacts.
Yeah, everybody's all like eyeballing each other, like it's never been known to
It's
happen.
not. Yeah, it's not like it's our goal, but
Did you say that in character?
yeah, it's not our
We're just
goal
being
to kill
prepared.
him. But we have to. I'll admit, I'm being paid well, but I don't know if it's worth losing
Great
a.
experience has taught us that it's better to be prepared than attacked by cultists.
Should we alert the law?
Absolutely not.
No.
Oftentimes the people who are involved in these things attack us first, and it's a good idea to be...
So you're just going to attack them first this time?
No, we're going to go and ask him what he's doing, and then he'll probably try and kill us.
It has been a pattern.
So we're just going to show force. So we're going to walk through his doors with a display. I mean, gun-toting maniacs and all.
Yes, he is the gun-toting maniac in this
I'm
room.
totally on board. Yeah. Like in character, I just kind of like think about what we're saying. I'm like,
One of us now.
And when this adventure began, Mr. Weld, I was considered the gun-toting wild man with my... I'm sorry, do continue.
I believe we all have an epithet thrown us by a certain personage.
I do believe we have.
All I'm saying is we walk in dressed
I was a younger,
accordingly.
naiver me.
We're going to get the response that you're dressed for,
I'm dressed for big game safari.
which you won't find at the corner of Jackal.
Well, then let's see what we can find.
The Carnival Jackal and Jackal.
I'm dressed for zombies and pit bees. Everybody else okay?
Perfectly, yes.
So you guys are headed out to see Najir
Would it be weird to walk around with this?
with 2 shotguns hanging off of you. Yes.
What about a shotgun?
Slung on the
Like
shoulder.
slung over the shoulder like a
Tastefully.
rifle.
Yeah, that wouldn't be as bad, or a pistol, but you know, an elephant gun, a mini tank, and a trio of a trio of.
I'm
revolver.
trying to be discreet. Like, I'm not deciding you
There's
to
no
do that.
trying when you have 2 shotguns hanging off of your side.
There's sounds on.
But no, it's not like it's a mini shotgun. These are like full barreled. Like they just because you shorten them doesn't mean that the stock, the wideness of
Oh no,
goes
yeah, it
down.
sounds like a large bulge.
Perhaps we could put them into a satchel or backpack of some sort, just for less eyes.
That would be better.
Right. I will grab a
guitar case, perhaps.
Haver's knapsack.
Alright. Would that be suitable, do you think?
Yes. Or at least better. Now, just to be clear, you're not going to specifically bump this guy, right?
We are not looking for trouble, but we are merely preparing ourselves should trouble find us.
Feel free to roll psychology.
No, that's straight up true.
No, I'm pretty sure we're looking for trouble.
Well, in some respect. Should this man mean us no harm, there should be no problem.
You knew the street he was on.
You'd
How do you
sent-
know this guy?
You'd sent a letter to one of the members of the expedition. Carlisle Expedition.
Was this a hostile letter?
No, but they were all murdered.
You actually have the letter if you wanted to produce it. Show him. So
That's
it's that
all I'm
letter
showing.
there. That's all. I found some stuff. I'd love to sell it to you.
And you said that he was someone who deals in nauseating artifacts. We went to a shop like that earlier in our journeys, and
Were you dressed accordingly?
absolutely not.
Where are we having this conversation at, by the way?
Breakfast table.
I'm having it.
Breakfast table.
At this point, my voice is lowered.
Would we like
We
to
saw-
handle this like we did the last time?
We saw horrors unimaginable
Well, let me perhaps
in the middle of a city.
excuse me. Let me
In a
perhaps
place that should have been said. I'm sorry.
no. I apologize that I interrupted. Let me perhaps come to what might be considered more of our moral conscience or moral compass. Miss McCrea,
Yes.
In character, I roll my eyes.
I will ask your opinion and then open the same opinion to the group. What would your thoughts be on an initiation for young Mr. Cooper here? Might you be able to produce the mask? Thoughts? If you would like a taste.
No.
I look like I'm looking for words, and just they're not coming out, much like I'm doing out of character right now.
Like,
I actually
I'm
look
looking
very much
around,
unsurprised.
And so
Like, I'm just like,
has
eggs.
anybody described what has happened during the mask in front of her yet?
Yeah,
Does she know?
all three of them.
Yeah, we all went.
Excuse me, we're not.
Oh well, this is true.
I really don't think that's a very good
An
idea.
initiation. What do you got?
Do you,
No,
Mr. Weld?
this is not even a consideration. I will raise my voice at this table.
Mr. Weld, you concur. I will take it.
Let the man hold on to what pieces of his mind that he has.
Can I at
Corporal?
least see this thing?
A moment.
If it's as bad as you guys have described, I don't see why anybody would willingly do it.
And I would.
Don't do it.
And I would. Professor.
Like, I'm like in the middle of eating. I'm like, what? I have no lines in this play. Ask her.
Do you think that his wearing the mask would be beneficial to his initiation?
Into what?
These responses should give you an understanding, and I would, by the way, man, never permit such a thing to happen. It was merely supposition. None of us would suggest that you willingly look upon the horrors that we have seen. Take these responses to heart.
And this man is the cause of it?
He's involved.
He's involved.
We don't know how deeply.
Perhaps he's an unknowing agent of powers.
We're hoping for that.
Well,
Will he know who you are?
Possibly.
It depends.
possibly yes. Doubtful.
Based on experience, yes.
Well, there's that.
So, we're going to go visit this gentleman.
Yeah.
Then I need to go to my friends.
You don't have me?
No, why would I come to breakfast with my gun on me?
Because
I'm just
Tuck it into the
like,
chair.
I'm just kind of like, gun, guns, guns.
Petticoat.
You know what we do, correct?
Yes, I do. I just didn't expect it to be this early in the morning.
I admit that I didn't catch on quite so quick in the beginning, but
Well, it looks like you're catching on now there, Mr. Whitworth.
there is no one so faithful as somebody who converts.
So you head up and grab your guns,
Mm-hmm.
and then you guys are headed out.
Yep.
Right? So you wind your way through the streets of New Cairo into the streets of Old Cairo. The streets of Old Cairo, George could tell you a little bit about the feel of it because he's actually experienced it while you guys were in Spain.
There's a Moroccan intention.
Yes, like that same like everybody watches you because you don't belong there.
Yeah.
So if you wouldn't mind kind of explaining how you felt.
Well, yeah, because like first, like the streets, like I said, it's exceptionally narrow, and when you're talking about medieval, like it's medieval construction, so it's streets that are not like Matt said, like it's like alleys where you're kind of going through, so anyone can kind of like reach out and grab you from a doorway or a window, and really super narrow. And then as you're walking around, you become very acutely aware that all of us as white people are used to being around white people all the time and kind of being the dominant kind of thing. And if you're ever in a place where you're not, you've ever had that experience, it's like that, and compounded by the fact that they also don't speak your language and may not look favorably upon you because you're an agent of, America or or Britain or some sort of colonial oppression. So
now, are the streets straight as we would?
Absolutely no.
Or is it like drunk?
Very curving.
So
you can see kind of like 5 feet in the street curve. So every time you kind of move around, you might suddenly stumble in. All of a sudden there's a square or an underground market or another street or a dead end. And so you're kind of very acutely aware that you could just very rapidly walk someplace and then just have no way to get out if there's something troublesome there. People are kind of moving all around you, and also the way that people are brushing past you. Some people might be trying to steal things from you. And just for all of our characters, I think it would be something that would be kind of alien to our experiences.
Captain, you've been to Cairo before? You avoided Old Cairo because it's not where the British belong.
It's not where I want to go.
Yeah. Professor, you might have been in Old Cairo, but probably
Not as a kid. I know what it is. But...
Right. Well, if you were, it was brought by someone like your parents, exceptionally trusted to grab a thing and come back.
You would have to tell me where my parents took me as a child.
It's true. They probably wouldn't have sent you into Old Cairo more than once if they sent you at all. So you guys travel for probably a half hour, and it feels like it, like that disorienting feeling. If you didn't have Mr. Cooper, you would not know where you were going. If you had someone less reputable, and I know that's hard to imagine right now, if you had someone less reputable, you would feel like, oh, well, guess we're all going to die here because 35 knives done beat 1 or 2 guns per person. So
we've traveled a half an hour and covered like 6 blocks.
It's been definitely farther than 6 traditional block lengths. But these aren't block, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then he pulls you onto almost like what feels like a narrow alley again. And then he goes, oh, wait, wrong street. Used to be Street of Jackals. That used to be a shop. And you walk by this burned out husk of a building.
I start kicking around in the ashes.
It's been burned for a while.
Has it moved?
It just slipped my mind. Yeah, he's
on the Street of Coppers. It's not far.
Not very far.
I look for like any kind of basement or trapdoor or anything that goes under.
Give me a spot.
I'm gonna help.
If they're digging around, I'll dig around too.
I got it.
Oh, I just missed it.
I got it.
Nope.
I got it.
Everybody that got it, you look pretty hard. Everybody that looks, there's really nothing there. The walls are kind of burned out and empty. This is the only place that you've seen that's been like this. Like there's been evidence of fire before, but it's been rebuilt quickly because space like this doesn't go to waste. But for some reason this hasn't been touched.
And it's been a while.
You'd have to ask around to be sure for how long that this is not a new burn.
Wouldn't Frank know?
No.
I don't come here
Well,
to
but,
help them. I don't like
but
to
the
deal with
ashes and stuff that we're kicking through and looking for trapdoors on like the corners of the room, this is not like last week. It was like months and months of weather and time.
You could ask around and see if you can figure it out.
I look around to see if we're being watched by anyone.
Oh yeah.
Everyone.
Absolutely. Not everyone, but
we're a bunch of white people in the bad part.
6 white people, one of them a woman who's uncovered.
Right.
You're in a Muslim country. Just walk down the street. People are watching you. You don't see a lot of malicious intent, but you just see curiosity.
I'm looking for someone who's kind of maybe a little bit older, looks like they've basically been sitting in the same spot for like a couple hours. Like this is what they're doing during the day. They come here, hang out, watch people go by, and chat with their buddies.
Yeah, you
Smoke
see
cigarettes.
one of those. Yeah.
I'll kind of nudge Wentworth and kind of nod in his direction of the individual in question. You probably speak the language best. You might know something.
You speak Egyptian?
No, I speak Arabic.
Okay, you can try that.
Alright.
Roll Arabic for me.
Not even close.
Can I see them go up there?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of.
I'll try to go up there too and see if I can figure out what he's.
So you start speaking, and the guy looks at you a little strangely, and then shakes his head, like he doesn't get what you're saying. You go ahead.
No. Can I also try Egyptian?
What? How, did you failed? You have Arabic?
I have Arabic.
Thought you
And
had.
Egyptian. I
No.
have both.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I meant for you to roll your Egyptian. That's fine.
Okay, I'll go and try it again. No.
It's fine. It's
But I
a
do
very halting conversation. It's very
Okay.
difficult. You're probably not getting every concept across. That's why you're rolling a
Yeah.
percentage. But you start a conversation. Hi, how are you? We were looking at the shop, and he conveys to you again haltingly, or his is fine, but you pick it up very haltingly. The shop burned down, and it's a cursed place, and no one has built it in the 6 years since.
They believe the land's cursed. It's been about 6 years since it's burned down.
It could be cursed.
6 years is in the proper time for the Carlisle Expedition.
Yep, right about that.
I have a hard time believing that the land could be cursed. But seeing what we've seen.
Our Western sensibilities certainly tell us otherwise. But did the shop owner survive burning? Is he still in business?
You try and you talk to him again. Yes, on the street of Potters, badly burned.
I'm confused, and I'm sorry. You've been out of, you're 21, you dropped out when you were 19. Cooper is 21, he dropped out when he was 19. And then he came over here and he's dealt with this guy.
And when people send you to go talk to Najir, they say Najir on the street of Jackals, and then when you get there, you normally get pushed over to the street of Gophers. It's because he was there for so long prior to that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's more about
It's an out-of-date business card.
Right.
And because there are no business cards, and there's no addresses. Like this is just he's that guy on that street of Coppers or on the street of Jackals, and then before they think about it, you're already off on your way.
Okay.
So
Down where the old church used to be, you mean?
I just wasn't getting that before now. I get it now and it makes sense. Right. Okay, so we're headed to the street of Coppers.
yeah, yes. Unless you guys have any other questions for the old gentleman, do you tip him?
I do, yes.
You changed your money to sterling, right? Did you change it to Egyptian pounds or British sterling? There's not a whole bunch of difference, except that in the old city, Egyptian money would make more sense. It would be easier to spend.
Probably a mix. Probably I'd have both.
Okay, that's fine.
You want to give him a bottle of London?
No, that's for friends.
Oh, hey, thanks for bringing up my cart. Here's some luck.
He's over there? Cool. Here's some
There's a ball of opium. Put that in your mouth for you.
What do you have in there? Fruit Loops? You know what goes with Fruit Loops? Laudanum.
Okay, so it goes well with Fruit Loops. That surprisingly might be right. Fruit Loops might get laudanum. You'll know here soon. So you guys head over to the Street of Coppers, and you find a shop this time, but it is a very narrow shop. If you guys have ever been to like a really old comic book store in a downtown area that like you walk in and it's like wall to wall shelves and long boxes full of crap, that's how it feels. But it says in Arabic, it says Faraj Najir, Curios in English, and if anybody speaks French, Magazine des Antiquités, which just means that it's a place of antiquities.
So are we going to go in as you guys look to buy something?
As you look, oh yeah, go ahead and figure that out. I'll finish this right.
Yes.
As you go in,
So we left then.
And that worked so well.
it looks like it's really just a bunch of it's clear it's tourist garbage. Even here in old Cairo, it's looked very crap stuff on the walls and on the shelves.
So this isn't like ancient old, like where we could find a mogwai if we
No,
different
no
places.
mogwai.
Also,
Okay.
before we enter, should we discuss his relationship with the Carlisle Expedition?
You can see him on point.
Should we mention the Penhew Foundation?
If we're going to be up front, then we should be up front.
I think that we should ask him what happened to his old shop. Ask and then bring up the Carlisle Expedition. He spits and curses at their name, and we say, tell him what's going on. If he pretends he doesn't know what we're talking about, we might have to press the issue.
And judging from the signage, I would suppose he would speak English and French and Arabic.
At least passively. Can we start with English and hope that it's...
Yes, let's. Shall we?
Sounds good to me.
I go on the door.
He wrote a letter.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Right,
I'm
right.
pretty sure he speaks English.
So you guys you enter the shop is, as I explained it, it's kind of cramped, but it's not terrible.
I'll kind of go in the lead.
I will cover while they, as odd as that sounds.
Okay.
I will go in after them.
Okay. You'll be the last one in. Is that
Are
good?
we all going to be able to get in?
Yeah. It'd just be a little cramped. It's not that big of a deal.
All right.
What was his name again?
It's right there.
Nigeria.
Oh, yeah. Nigeria.
Like the country.
So Najir waves to you.
Nigeria! I brought you money.
Well, thank you.
These guys are looking to buy things that I don't have.
Excellent. What can I do for you? He speaks English, but it's very heavily accented, and he's not halting, but he's slow in his speech.
Is he burnt up?
He kind of, when you first walk in and he notices Mr. Cooper, you see like the right side of his face, and on the left, on from the ear down, there looks to be burns. So as he turns towards you, you can see burns going down under his collar.
Sure.
So
They have finer taste than I was expecting. Do you have anything better than half the stuff that I...
please, what exactly are you looking for?
I'm looking for things that concern mysteries.
That's a very vague answer. A specific dynasty, perhaps.
How about the nuns?
I'm not familiar with that name.
Yeah, psychology.
You absolutely can. Give me a second to roll and see if you actually know anything about that name. Yeah, he knows nothing about that. I'm not familiar with the Noddins.
Obscure. Just
Okay. Anything else?
I understand you once did business with the Carlisle Expedition, that ill-fated.
As you say the word Carlisle Expedition, his eyes fog, and he says, "That will be all for today, Mr. Cooper. I cannot believe you brought these gentlemen and lady in here. Please, out of my shop, out." And he's like shooing you.
Perhaps it is best if the shop were closed for the day.
You're looking at me like I'm the muscle.
Gentlemen, please.
I look at the captain.
Yeah, you're like staring at me. I'm
Who's in the
like,
back? I don't know. Shut the door.
I'm in the back.
I thought we said this was going to escalate.
It hasn't yet.
hey, Cooper.
And I
lied.
shut the door.
Help! Help!
Sir.
He starts screaming, and
I pull out a roll of money.
never mind.
We only wish to ask you questions.
Tell me what your questions are worth.
Depends on you.
And when he says that, he reaches up and rubs gently on the burn scars on his neck.
He kind of gestured at his wounded forearm. Point taken. We have been investigating the...
I don't think you understood me. Tell me what your questions are worth.
About 1,000 pounds sterling.
Ask away.
I will count out.
You probably don't have a full 1,000 pounds in just sterling, but between
I'm pretty sure between the three of us.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you specifically didn't change that much cash at the
Right.
with you.
But anyways, I'll... Yeah, maybe. Captain, someone slips up.
And I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Oh, there we are.
And I don't have it incorrectly, but I put it like, there's a pot kind of midway between the two of us, and I just slide it in there.
Stand off to the side,
Ask your question.
quietly shaking. A lot of money right there.
Well, first, obviously that alarmed you. What do you know about the Carlisle Expedition? Do you know anything that wasn't in the papers? Anything that wasn't common knowledge?
Perhaps I know much, but perhaps this is not the place nor time. Perhaps a lunch meeting at the El Hassan Mosque.
Why?
Sacred ground. Makes it safe.
Well,
And if, as you talk to him, none of you need psychology. He's clearly shaken.
What's the time of day? Like, I mean, would lunch be like 5 hours from
It'd
now?
be
or-
like
think lunch-
2.
I think lunch is now.
Go now.
He's like, yeah, let's go.
I mean,
I typically take lunch at 1, and I wouldn't want something strange to seem like it's going on. At 1, I guarantee that I will meet you there. Mr. Cooper, you can vouch. If I say I will be there, I will, right?
Right.
Are you saying if somebody's watching you?
Or listening.
Perhaps speaking at 1 would be the best time, and the mosque would be the best place.
I kind of look for any nonverbal communication from anybody.
I don't
around
like
the
this idea
room
at
to
all.
see if I
I'm
see
going to-
anything
this-
weird.
I'll nod. Like,
I'm going to reach forward and pick up the pot that he put the money in and go, well then, we'll see you at 1.
Yeah.
I will see you at 1. Then, yes.
Excellent.
Will you be safe until 1?
Absolutely. You know where the mosque is. It's literally around the corner. It's not that far. So you head out. Are you just gonna stay in the general area?
I suggest taking some tea at a tea place.
Yeah, there's a tea place like down 3 stores down or something like that.
And we can actually have the store.
Keep an eye. to see
Yeah,
where he
in
goes
general
every now and then.
view, it's not like it's gonna be a perfect view.
I'm gonna go drink some tea.
Out of explosives range?
Probably. Well, it depends what size of explosion it
A
is.
500-pound
General-
bomb?
Yeah, generally yes. The tea. So you guys go and grab tea and sit, and relax for.
Yes.
I will periodically make patrols up and down the street and try to catch a glimpse of them inside the store. If that's at all
You can
possible.
give me a couple of spots. You'll in that time. How often are you gonna do it? Like once an hour? Once
Or you said we have 2 hours.
Oh, yeah, 2.
Probably every half hour.
every half hour? So you only have to give me 4.
I rolled not less than 80 tonight. Hey, 51.
Is that 51 a success?
No.
You don't see anything strange about the shop, but you don't also see
Okay.
him. But the windows are kind of blocked.
Is there any activity at all?
Random people go in and out.
So there is traffic.
There's traffic, but it's
Okay.
not nothing, and it's not like people come out with blood all over them. Or you don't.
Murder,
We don't smell smoke.
No,
Any of them look like wizards?
no.
Okay.
Yes, actually, a gray man with a big staff and a pointy wizard hat.
Are there any short people with them?
Yes, 4 of them, and then there's a large man with a large sword. The guy with a sword and shield.
Is his hair combed?
Yes.
Oh, well, then that's not the guy who was.
So the 2 hours go by at the tea shop. The tea is very different from what you're used to in England. But Captain, you probably had something similar to this.
No,
Yeah.
it's tea.
Arabian Black.
So, fellows, while you're entertaining Mr. Najir, would you like me to check his shop out?
In what fashion? We've just checked his shop, yes?
I will check the front area.
That's an interesting proposition. On the one hand,
there might be much to learn. On the other hand, I would hate to put you at risk.
Well, it's clear that he's not a fan of the Carlisles, or at least Roger. I mean, what could he have in there of any importance after his shop was burned down 6 years ago?
My suggestion, Mr. Cooper, would be for the professor to accompany you to easily or more easily identify items that might be pertinent to our investigation.
How light on your feet are you, Professor Wentworth?
Very light.
Oh. And you seem to be armored enough at this point.
Yes, I'm converted. I apologize for my earlier statement.
Oh, fair enough. But most time around.
Give time for me and Al to catch up anyway.
I'm sorry, who?
He's referring to me.
Your name is Al.
Alexander.
I don't think I knew that.
Well, the good news, though, is that will do us tonight for Nurse Domain. That's Masks of Nyarlathotep. You can catch us on Facebook and Twitter. Go over to our website, read our reviews. Go over to /loot and buy our shirts.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Where can we get your shoots and ladders?
You can get shooting ladders at Game Paradise, and you can come play games with us there on Thursdays.
But the shirts we can get.
/loot.com. We will talk to you guys real soon.
This has been a production of the Omega Nerds Network, the network where it's on.